Um, Peace, love, and light. Very special episode of Get This Wisdom Live. I'm sorry that I haven't been on here in a while. However, life is what life is. And sometimes this beautiful experience, this mystical experience that we call life can throw us unexpected curveballs, right? Um, Goodness, I didn't even do my disclaimer. These are that as well. I am your host for this early morning episode of Get This Wisdom Live, Shati Sterner. And this episode is going to be solely dedicated to someone who I lost recently, very, very dear to my heart, my father. Some of you are aware that not too long ago, my father was in the hospital and things of that nature. He got well enough to be released into my to our home. Mm, and I'm sparing details here because some things are just sacred in regards to that. However, uh, May 6th, 2025, my father did join the the ancestral realm, and I felt as though I wanted to immortalize him in a way uh, with doing this public tribute that he so rightfully deserves. If you all can remember, um, when my mother met her transition back in 2017, we did an on-air tribute for her as well over on Do the Knowledge Radio. And to be honest, I can't even remember half of what I said during that tribute because with my mom, I was completely devastated and just couldn't think of how life would be without. Now I'm here facing the same reality yet again, almost 8 years later. It's funny because my mother's birthday is Monday, May 19th. However, yeah, as I was saying, I am here facing the same reality again. And I knew that at some point that I was going to deal with it, right? Because that's a part of this life experience. We're here to serve our purpose, and then we transition out of this physical world into the spiritual plane of existence. It's much easier for me to find peace in this moment especially at this early part of this grieving phase than it was for me when I lost my mother. And I think, well, I know it has a lot to do with the time me and my father was able to share. I mean, I've had him my whole life, you know. I'm not someone who's shied away from that. I've made public knowledge that my dad has been around since day one. But more recently, the time we were able to connect uh, after my mother's transition, I was able to pour into him intentionally, right? Because I felt there were some things I was not able to do with my mother. So with my father, I intentionally moved a little different. And I was able to show him my appreciation and give him his flowers while he could smell them. I did that intentionally because I wanted him to have that, and I wanted to have that because I didn't have that with her. Um, my father, Michael Ricardo Frazier, made it to the golden physical age of 71 years old. And for me, that's such a beautiful thing, especially him being a black man born in the baby boomer generation, right? That particular generation was blatantly attacked with various things. My father, being a victim of said attack, um, made it to 71 years old, when most people counted him out a very long time ago, and most people didn't expect him to live a year after my mother, his wife, met her transition almost 8 years ago. My father fought a long, very long fight. Um, to be on this planet for 70 years is a beautiful thing that I hope that I can make it to at some point. My father had a struggle like many other black men. He had his war. He earned his stripes though. And one thing he did that I will always be proud of is that hmm, he showed me what devotion looks like. Because he devoted himself to my mother. He made an honest woman out of that lady. And he remained devoted to her until her dying day. Then in turn, he offered that same devotion uh, to me and my children until his dying day. To me, that's beautiful. 'Cause he didn't have to do that, right? And so many people uh, abandon ship or walk away and just do whatever it is that they feel they need to do. My father felt the need to stand by his wife's side, his daughter's side, and his granddaughter's side until his dying day. That speaks characters. This about pardon me. That speaks loudly to the character that my father had, and I am forever uh, grateful for his sacrifice. Because that's what the last pretty much 8 years of his life was a sacrifice of love uh, for me and my daughters. This hits a little bit different, family, because I try to be the person that most of you all come to when you are in need of spiritual guidance and words of wisdom and affirmation and support. However, you all must know and understand for the last 8 years, that person for me has been my father. Um, he became my rock, my anchor once my queen mother met her transition. I've been very vocal about most of my opinions and most of my experiences. I have not bit my tongue. Um, and if you have been around the better part of 10 years, you know that my mother's loss affected me very deeply. I couldn't have had the type of dialogue I'm having right now when my mother passed away. I didn't have that in me at that time. My father was just more, it was more than just father. I'm not the only one who lost a father in this at this time. He became he raised my brother as his own. My brother lost, but there's two little people that that man helped me take care of when he didn't have to. It's two little people that lost a father as well. My daughters. Wow. This is a little bit much, but I'm gonna keep it going just because he deserves. Michael Frazier was a man of a genuine love and compassion for people, and that believed in family. He was a man that believed in showing his love, not just expressing it. Um, One of his greatest loves outside of my mother, whom he missed dearly until he imparted this physical world on May the 6th, um, and myself and my children, of course. So his greatest love was for music. Music was that man's passion. Music was that man's creation. Music was that man's saving grace. My daddy could express himself through music more than he ever could verbally. And he and I have an innate um, connection through the music. He'll always have the music, Dad, right? He grew up in a time where racism was very much alive. He got to, most of us that are in this so called movement didn't have to really experience that part firsthand, right? We hear the stories, we see the movies, we read the news clips, we read the stories, but we really didn't experience what they did. I mean, we have our version of it now, but those who were born in my father's time, he was born in 1953, um, got to experience a world prior to um, what's that word y'all like to use so much? Integration. Hmm. Thank you so much for the comment, Elmar. And I was able to sit at my father's feet and get his words of what took place during when his in his childhood and having to be able to drink from a separate water fountain. And I remember he told me he wanted that water from that white fountain so bad. He felt that that water was just um, so special that he couldn't have it, and other black people couldn't have it. And he wanted that water from that whites only fountain so bad. And while he was saying that, I put myself in, at the position of sitting at my elder's feet, and I'm just hearing these things and how he felt and how he had to live it. And I'm like, wow, you made it. You made it through. You went through all this and you still here to tell this story to me. The strength, the willpower, that's it. The willpower he possessed was like none other. And I told them this mm, right before he passed away, and even prior to him passing away. I mean, prior to his hospitalization, I wanted to will life into him, if you will, no pun intended. And I kept just telling him, like, Dad, if anybody can fight this, you can. If anybody can make it, you can. I've seen you do stuff that other people can't do, or stuff that other people refuse to do. You've done it with no sweat off your brow. You know, mm, part of me, the human side is very emotional and very distraught. So I'm trying my hardest to make it through this. Uh, this is a very spiritually significant time for myself. I know that on a spiritual level, when our loved ones transition and ascend to the next dimension or a higher plane of existence, that we also ascend with them. So I know what's happening for me spiritually. However, emotionally, I'm just a human. and I'm a daddy's girl. True, the true daddy's girl. Like, and I lost my best friend. I lost my best friend. That man was my everything. There's nothing I wouldn't have done for him, and there's nothing I won't do for him now. And a part of this is my way of honoring him. There's much more to come. I'm not done yet. A person of his caliber deserves so much praise and honor on a public level. A lot of you don't know that my father actually co-produced some of the episodes of Gift This Wisdom Live. One offhand, if you go back through the episodes, gosh, we have a ton of them. Not many as others, but we have a ton in our own way. So I'm a toot our little tiny Get This Wisdom horn with that. But if you look back to the last episode with Fire Nation Flames, we did two episodes with her, so it'll be the last one. I can't remember when that was. It's been a while. I recall interviewing her, and I love that queen. You know, she's been here to Detroit, and we of course met multiple times. She's a part of the Zoo Bullies and Wu Tang Clan affiliates with the brother Judah Priest, peace to Judah Priest. So we were interviewing her, and my father was sitting next to me. You know, if you don't know, I'm revealing some insider information. Um, Normally, while the other person is speaking, when I'm interviewing someone, I normally go on mute, right? Because I have children and they could be, be children, make noise. You can't just make your children be statues because you want to do something. No, you have to work in their world. So I tend to go on mute. So while I was interviewing Fire Nation Flames this time. I was on mute and my dad was sitting there listening. He was crafting questions for me. Because normally, I'm going to tell y'all now, some of you may know it, some of you may not know it. I very rarely prepare interview questions because for me, it's just like it takes away from the element and the moment. Yeah, it's cool to have a little blueprint, but I like natural flowing interactions. So most of my questions I'm coming up with in that moment. However, there are some people that I've crafted questions for because they've requested that. So, with Fire Nation, we was just having a genuine dialogue. You really couldn't tell it was an interview because it was just the vibe was there and it was pretty freaking dope. And my dad was just sitting there and he was like, okay, you asked her that. And because I'm on mute after I ask her the question, I'm gonna talk. And I'm talking to him in the background, here's this. Then he's like, ask her this, that's the follow-up. Ask her this, ask her this. I'm like, wow, this is effing amazing, man. I got my dad here where we're creating together. That was such a beautiful moment for me. And he has helped with a few others. So if nothing more, man, I gotta keep this right here for him because he was proud of this right. He was definitely proud of the magazine also, but he had a chance to actually be involved with this right here, and I wanted to get him recorded. I did. I asked him so much, and he agreed to it. Uh, right before he caught the pneumonia, just didn't get that opportunity to get his words of wisdom for you. But I am him in a feminine form. I am his legacy. So I will express that which my father shared with me on his behalf. I know he would want me to do that. He, in fact, has asked me to do that with a couple of different things. So there are some projects that I have to put in motion on behalf of my dad, and I'm going to carry out his mission that he wanted me to in a couple of different ways. However, when it came to my community work and everything, first off, my father was a even bigger conspiracy theorist than I could ever be, right? That's so funny because I thought I was a big conspiracy nut. No way. Not after a while, like especially once mom died, and I sat back and just listened to my dad and how he's watching CNN and looking at this and breaking this down and going to this, I'm like, I see where I get it from. I get it from you. I have the junior tin cap on my tinfoil hat on my head because of my dad. Like, but a lot of the stuff he said actually made sense, and I'm grateful I got to experience his teachings. He wasn't some big title having professor, you know. My daddy didn't even go to college, but he graduated from the school of the hard knocks life, and he gave me what he needed me to have in order to survive out here in these jungles. So, and outside of that, he life wisdom, life experience. One of the last things he taught me about, which is funny because I'm 38 and I have no idea until my father. Yes, absolutely. My father, definitely a big time conspiracy theorist. Like, oh, the woman across the street, she keep watching us. She watching us. So she keep flashing her headlights over here. I know she watching us. I can see her lights through the window. And I said, hold on, what is he talking? So I paid attention. The darn neighbor across the street got the motion sensor security light on the side of the house. So every time some type of movement happened, the light come on. My father swear the woman's is watching us and keep cutting on her headlights. And I said, Dad, that lady is not caring about what's going on over. Yes, she is. I know she watching us. I can see she watching us. I said, okay, all right, you win, Dad. If that's what you think, I'm not gonna argue with you about it. You know, I love that man. Like I was saying though, one of the last things he taught me right before he passed away, he was only at home for 11 days. Wow, that's a master number. I think I'm not too clear on that, but I can confirm it. Um, he was talking to me about. I think we were having a discussion about reparations. That's where it started from. Um, This is recently, right before he met his transition. We were talking about reparations for the Black community and how that led into a further dialogue of reparations for was it the Japanese peoples, them Oriental folks that I mean I ain't gonna get into all that. Y'all know my views are different than most, so I'm trying to be a little bit more or less vocal on that, but in Hiroshima. And he was letting me know that uh if I'm okay, I'm trying to get the words right. There was an agreement made between Japan and the United States regarding the trading of steel, I believe it was. He let me know back then, gosh, I'm trying to get this right. I believe he said that the houses, was it Japan or it had to be Japan? It's one of them folks over there, trust me. One of them Oriental peoples, I don't know. It's too many of them. They all got slanted eyes. They all look alike to me. So Ching Choing and Su Lung and all them niggas. I don't care. He was telling me how their houses was made of wood and that they needed some type of steel or however. And there was some taxation involved with that. And that's basically how that disagreement got started before they even dropped a nuke back then. And I was like, "What? I ain't never known nothing about that shit, Dad. That's how me and my father used to talk. We just talked shit. I'm sorry. I'm like, Dad, I ain't know that shit. You smart as hell. Look it up for yourself. You think you know everything. Where you think you get it from? You ain't that smart. You ain't that smarter than you're not smarter than me. Okay, Dad, fine. You know, that was my best friend. Like it was bigger than just dad and daughter. That's the man I watch sports with, and we talk shit about what's that weak ass quarterback we got now, Detroit Lions, y'all. I can't even think of that dude's name. I do not like him. In Detroit, the city of Detroit is riding his quarterback's coattails, and I can't stand him. He lost the dang game for us the last time. And me and my daddy was up in here. My daddy was so hurt. He was so hurt. But I'm so glad he got to see them Lions winning again before he left here. He got 2 seasons to see his boys back on top. But what's that quarterback name, y'all? Can't think of that white boy's name. I don't like him. I know that. And I told my daddy, I said, Daddy, I don't like him. And the reason why the Lions ain't gonna win the Super Bowl is because of y'all quarterback. And my dad, firstly, he was not happy about what I said. He was so mad at me. I'm like, damn, this is not this last season with the Lions, y'all. The season before, when they started looking like some winners and everybody jumped on the coattails and the bad wagons. And I still, you know, I'm gonna go. I'm a person that never follows society. I purposely go the different direction. So when everybody was in Detroit, the Lions are winning again. We're going to the Super Bowl. Me, I had to be Debbie Downer. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not going because your quarterback sucks. He sucks. He lacks development. He doesn't move out of the pocket. He can't take a hit. He doesn't run the ball. I ran down the whole list. My daddy was like poking his lips all up. You just mad. I'm like, no, I'm not mad. Don't like your quarterback. So they end up losing, like I knew they would. I knew they was gonna lose. I said it. I was the only person in Detroit that said it, and everybody and their mama hated Shockey for saying that the Lions were still gonna lose. But that's what they did. So the last season, they started winning again. Oh, okay, y'all winning again. I'm like, Dad, your quarterback still sucks. He sucks ass. Your Lions are not going to the Super Bowl. And my dad, if you don't shut your fucking mouth, this is what he talking to me, y'all. Yes, yes, golf. That dude, that his last name is the right sport for him. Golf. He needs to go play golf. He don't need to be a quarterback. He sucks. Boo. So my dad is like, you shut the F up. Don't talk about him. Don't jinx the Lions. You're gonna make the Lions lose. I'm like, nah, Dad. I'm gonna tell you why they gonna lose. It's more than just golf. It's freaking Vegas. Everybody and their mama wanna bet with the Lions now running on FanDuel. And Vegas is not gonna pay out all them funds for the Lions when it comes to the big show. It's a political game, Dad. My dad's like, just be quiet and enjoy the damn game. Why you gotta make everything intellectual? I'm like, Dad, all right, I'm sorry. So we watching it, get together every Sunday, because that's how we used to bond when I was a teenager. Back when I was really into the sports thing, like me and my dad used to really watch them games like I'm 16, 17, really watching the Pistons, really watching the Lions lose every Sunday. But back to this previous season, it finally got to where it looked like they might make the big show. But I'm still saying, Dad, nah, your peoples is gonna make them lose. Everybody voting, everybody betting with them gonna make them lose because Vegas is involved, and golf is gonna choke the ball. And what did he do in that game, ladies and gentlemen? Golf coughed, golf choked, golf sucked. And my poor daddy was so bad at golf. He's like, you know what? You were right this whole time. To hell with golf. Golf said, what did he say? Golf through the game. Get that nigga out of there. And my daddy was going off. It was so cute. It was funny. It was hilarious. And I'm so glad we had those times together. See, that's what made me all those years ago go so hard for black men, right? Because what did I say? You can go read a million and one posts on my Shopee page, which I'm locked out of right now. So that's why you ain't see me posted on there. I'm gonna get access to my page again. But I would always say I stand strong for black men because my father is a black man. My brother's a black man. My nephews are black men. I've said this a million times, right? Because my father, the man that planted his seed within my mother's womb, the man that created me consciously. I was a conscious creation, intentionally spent time with me in the best way that he could. Even though society had their hands all around my daddy like they do with all other black men. So no, my daddy wasn't the picture perfect Bill Cosby Clifford Huxtable type of nigga. No. My daddy was a Michael Frazier, get it out the mud in the streets type of nigga. East side of Detroit, born and raised. My daddy taught me the art of the hustle. My daddy taught me the art of survival. My daddy taught me how to be a good person too. That's one thing he never did. He never got over on nobody. People got over on him though, because of his heart. When I mean the art of the hustle, if you was in Detroit back in the mid to late '90s, and I can speak this now because they can't get my daddy. My daddy, he up out of here, so I can speak on it. Pardon me, I'm having a little puff as well. No judgment zone. What they say on them posts now? We listen, we don't judge. Okay, so y'all can listen to the puffs and don't judge. Um, Mid to late '90s, if you was in the Detroit area, you remember a toy store called K&B Toys. I was about 11 at the time, 11, 12, somewhere up in there. That's when the Gigapets, the Yo-Yos was all the craze, and the Pokemons and the Yu-Gi-Ohs. All right, yeah, all that. Um, my daddy was a street nigga, and he hustled. And one thing he used to do was hit that damn toy store. When I say hit it, I mean walk up in the bitch, come out without spending no money type of hit. So he went in that bitch, got all the Gigapets, all the Yo-Yos, all of them. I'm like, yeah. I see him come back with his people after doing his run. I'm like, you got that bag. Something in that bag for me. It gotta be something in that bag for me. He never forget out his juice. Because that was my nickname for him, Juice. So he come up with the bag. Of course he gonna sell most of it. Because that was his lick. But he came up and gave me like 2 or 3 Gigapets, 2 or 3 yo-yos. I'm like, yeah. I was excited. My daddy always blessed me, no matter how he had to do it. Him and my mother made a great team at that. Great team. My mother, oh, excuse me, let me speak to my father first off. The jail cell never got their hands on my dad. All praises due. He was smart. He knew how to maneuver in them streets and make it to 71 years old. That's power. A lot of us ain't gained nowhere near that type of power. But that's the example that I had to look up to. And that's now an ancestor of mine. And I'm all glorious. I'm feeling glorious about that. You know, this man is responsible for me. The woman that you are, and I love y'all, man. Let me say that first. Like, as you all know, not just this, my father transitioning, being in the hospital. We had some involvement with CPS and things of that nature, and I was very open about that, GoFundMe's and all that, right? One thing I'm not ever gonna do is pretend to be something that I'm not. And no matter how much spiritual high science knowledge I got, I'm still a human in this society, in this system that is designed to attack me, you, and everybody with our skin color. Just because I know something don't mean they not coming after me too. If anything, they coming after me more. Okay? So, but life, it hits us. It does. And to those who have supported me for the last 10 years, yo, what is it, 11 now? For the last 11 years, man, I want to say thank you. You know what I mean? Because y'all done rocked with me good, bad, not so pretty. Um, the controversy, um, the dang on social media outbursts I may have had. Like, y'all have always supported the vision. Y'all always have supported me, the mission, my family. You know what I mean? Some of y'all I ain't never met a day in my life. But I could hit you up in your inbox and you're like, you know what? Thank you. Or y'all hit me up like we just wanted to check on you. How your baby's doing? Y'all need something. We got you, Queen. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And I guess that goes apart into the saying of when you take care of the people take care of you. So I want to thank y'all, man. Y'all rolled with me, supported me. You know, like it ain't no difference. It ain't no separation. I just been called for a purpose that is different. Some people share the purpose I have. Some people have other purposes, but mine is has been what it was. And I just wanted to take the minute to thank y'all and acknowledge y'all because y'all have held me, my children, and my father down. You know what I mean? The long way. And that doesn't go unnoticed. Definitely don't take it for granted. Definitely grateful. I love you. No matter if I've met you or not, the love is real. And I hold that love sacred. So during this time of grief, or if you want to call it mourning, bereavement, all these specialized terminologies that are used when we lose a loved one. I was about to say a companion, but a loved one is a more broader thing to use right there. When we lose a loved one, thank you. Thank you for the phone calls. Thank you for the text messages, the inboxes, whether I've been able to respond to them or not. I'm just going through some things that I'm trying to readjust to once again, fixing my crown. so I could keep on this marathon. I have an even greater purpose now, and I have another powerful ancestor on my side to see me through this marathon. Um, that man meant everything to me, and I went after the world in defense of my daddy. If you said something wrong, we and you was gonna have us an issue. Like even my own mama, who I love dearly. Now that was his wife, so it wasn't. I tried to stay up out of it because that's the wife, that's the husband and wife for that. I mean, I ain't trying to get involved in that. However, when mama would go too deep into her black woman stuff and she done cut my daddy up verbally and emotionally because of whatever he done did or whatever she done did, she just having a day as a black woman and taking it out on him. Y'all know how it go. I'll be quiet. I keep my mouth closed. I even try to tune him out. Then it's like, okay, mama, it's been about 45 minutes now. Now you just got to chill on my pops. You got to chill on daddy, oh my. Like you done got your point across. That leave the man alone. Let him go get a breather. Cause you done dumped all your female energies on my daddy. And now I got to step in and be his little shield because you're doing too much, mama. You're doing too much. Leave my daddy alone now. So when it came to my daddy being a daddy's girl, there was nobody that could get away with too much with the man that gave me my life. I recall this one time, I was about 21 maybe, before motherhood. Motherhood definitely has grown me up and calmed me down. There was this one time we lived over an apartment building over on Dexter on the west side. Shout out to 48238, by the way. That was a big part of my stomping ground coming up. Yeah. So we all cohabitated at the apartment building over there on Dexter, basically Davison area, Dexter Davison. Uh, my daddy is a liquor store over there. I don't know if it's still open or not because it's a long time ago, but it was a liquor store over there called Sheba's. I'll never forget Sheba's because that's where I used to frequent. My family used to frequent. It was the corner liquor store. So I'm in the apartment with my mother. She's in her bedroom. I'm in my bedroom. My daddy left out, went to the store not too long before that. So I hear my mother raising her voice on a cell phone, and I hear her saying my daddy's name like she trying to get his attention. I'm like, I snap in automatic go mode because that's just how I am when it comes to certain people. And even yeah, I was younger then, so I ain't had no babies. I ain't had nothing to lose but my parents. So we not about to play them types of games. So I hear her raising her voice, screaming and saying, I run into, what's wrong, man? Something wrong with your daddy up there at the liquor store. Something going on. I hear him arguing. Oh no, my phone died.